Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Kunja Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vinari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadrama Sudarsana Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Subhadrama Sudarsana Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radha Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radha Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Gauranika Jaya Gauranika Jaya Gauranika Jaya जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव 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 जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गौरताय की जय Hare Krishna devotees. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam Zoom platform associated with ISKCON Seshadripuram. So today we are going to discuss 38, 39, 40 and 41st sloka of 9th chapter of 4th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. So shortly we'll start discussing the sloka. नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगुणरघुनाथान्वितं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सार्वभूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदं सगुणललिता श्रीविशाखा वितर्क्ष हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे I'll shortly project the shlokas. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So while keep reciting the shlokas, you can please hear attentively, and then we'll discussion. We'll do the discussion. So 30th shloka. Saddhaya vakyam deva harsha vegena dharishta vartarharuvriti pritoharam pradan mahadhanam. Word to word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Shraddhaya, keeping faith. Vakyam, in the words. Devarshehe, of the great Narada. Harsha Vegena, by great satisfaction. Darshitaha, overwhelmed. Vartahartu, with the messenger who brought the news. Atiprityaha, Atipritaha, being very satisfied. Haram, a pearl necklace. Haram. Pradat, offered. Mahadhanam, very valuable. Translation by Silpo. Although he could not believe the words of messenger, he had full faith in the words of the great sage Narada. Thus, he was greatly overwhelmed by the news, and he immediately offered the messenger a highly valuable necklace in great satisfaction. There is no purport, so we'll go to next shlokas. There are 3 shlokas together here. सदस्वं रथमारुह्य कार्तस्वर परिष्कृतं ब्राह्मणे कुलरुद्देश्य पर्यस्तो आत्मबन्धुभिः शङ्खदुन्दुभिनादेन ब्रह्मघोषेण वेणुभिः निश्चकामपुरार्थतो आत्मजाभिः क्षणोत्सुकः सत् ashwam drawn by very fine horses. Ratham, chariot. Aruhya, getting on. Kartashvara Parishkritam, bedecked with golden filigree. Brahman Brahmani with the Brahmanas. Kularuddhi along with elderly personalities of family. Cha also. Parsh, Parshetaha being surrounded. Amatya by officers and ministers. Bandhubi and friends. Shankha of the council. Dundubhi and kettle drums. Nadena with the sound. Brahma Ghoshena by the chanting of Vedic mantra. Venuvi by flutes. Nishkarma, he came out. Purat from the city. Turnam with a great haste. Atmaja, son. Abhikshana, to see. Utsukaha, very eager. Translation by Silvo. Then King Uttanavada, being very eager to see the face of his lost son, mounted the chariot drawn by excellent horses and bedecked with golden filigree, taking with him many learned Brahmanas, all the elderly personalities of his family officers, his ministers, and immediate friends. He immediately left the city. As he proceeded in the parade, there was auspicious sounds of concealed kettle drum flutes, and the chanting of Vedic mantras to indicate all good fortune. Again, there is no purport here, so I'll go to next sloka. Last sloka for today. Suniti Surisheshchasya Mahisho Rukta Bhuvishite Aryam Shibikam Sardamuttamena Big Jagmatu. Suniti hi Queen Suniti. Suruchi Queen Suruchi. Cha also Asya of the king. Mahishyasu queens. Rukma Bhushite being decorated with golden ornaments. Aruhya getting on. Sibikam palanquin. Sardham along with. Uttamena the king's other son. Uttama. Abhijjanam Matahu. Abhijjag Matahu. All proceeded along. Translation by Silpo. Both the queens of King Uttanpada, namely Suniti, Suruchi, along with other son Uttama, appeared in the procession. The queens were seated in a palanquin purple. After departure of Dhruva Maharaj from the palace, the king was very afflicted, but by the kind words of Saint Narada, he was partially satisfied. He could understand the great fortune of his wife Suniti and great misfortune of Queen Suruchi. Or these facts were certainly very open in the palace. But still, when the news reached the palace that Dhruva Maharaj was returning, his mother Suniti, out of her great compassion and due to being mother of great Vaishnava, did not hesitate to take the other wife, Suruchi, and son Uttama on the same palanquin. That was the greatness of Queen Suniti, the mother of great Vaishnava Dhruva Maharaj. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Saddaya Vakyam Devarsha Harsha Vegina Darshitaha Vatar Hatur Hari Prito Haram Prasad Mahadanam. Tadashavratamaruja Kartar Sura Parishputam Brahmane Kulas Ruddasche Pariyasto Atma Bandhubihi Shankadundu Vidavena Brahma Goshena Venubi Nishchakramo Punastattu Atmaja Abhi Kshanop Sukhaha. Then the king Uttanpada, being very eager to see the face of his lost son, mounted on the chariot drawn by excellent horses and bedecked with golden filigree, taking with him the many learned Brahmans, all the elderly personalities of his family, his officers, his ministers, and his immediate friends. He immediately left the city, and he proceeded in this parade that there were the auspicious sounds of council, kettle drums, flutes, and chanting of Vedic mantra to indicate all good fortune. Next is Suniti Surusescha Mahisho Sukta Bhushite. Arya Shibikam Sadur Mattamena Big Jekmatuhu. Both the queens of King Uttanpada, namely Suniti and Suruchi, along with other son Uttama, appeared in the procession. The queens were seated on a palanquin. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिधि नामने नमो आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्राम तारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिधि नामने Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Visheshunyavadi Paschatya Deshwatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sri Gaurabhaktananda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram. So Dhruva Maharaj story continues here, and now Dhruva Maharaj is returning from the forest where he did very severe austerity. He completed this austerity very determined, in a very determined way, in such a way that Lord himself appeared before him. And of course, Dhruva Maharaj was blessed by Narad Muni. Without blessings of Guru, without blessings of saints or Guru, uh, actually we cannot achieve Lord's lotus feet. It's not possible. This is what it happened in Dhruva Maharaj case also. When Dhruva Maharaj expressed the desire to do tapashcharya, of course, the motive behind this motive behind this tapashcharya was mainly some desire, material desire. What was the material desire? Material desire basically he wanted the kingdom which is bigger than Lord Brahma himself. Lord Brahma was his great grandfather. Of course, bigger than Lord Brahma's kingdom is even bigger than his father's kingdom also. Uttanpat, King Uttan. Why? Because he was insulted by his mother, I mean stepmother in one sense, and king also sort of insulted because king did not resist any insult, and he allowed his other wife, king's other wife, that is Suruchi, to insult and to dethrone Dhruva Maharaj. So he got insulted and he wanted to take a revenge or whatever you call. He wanted to show that no, I'm worth more than your so-called petty small kingdom throne. And he wanted to do so much tapasya that he will achieve the highest position in material world. What is the highest position in material world? Lord Brahma's position, highest position in material world. Above Lord Brahma's position means something unimaginable. But he was asking something unimaginable. Being a Kshatriya, he was very determined, very powerful, very, I'll say, chaste, and he wanted that kingdom. And he had desires. Everybody of us has material desires also. While we do our devotion service, we have got material desires. And it's not very new thing. Everybody has got material desires. So, so Dhruva Maharaj had. Of course, that was the Satyuga, very early days, ancient time, and people were much more powerful. They were actually existing Kshatriyas, and very powerful Kshatriyas, very moral based, and they could not tolerate insult as natural to Kshatriya. So he wanted to fight back and prove that no, I'm real Kshatriya. So that was the case. Narad Muni appeared. His Dhruva Maharaj mother Suniti also advised him, as it is supposed to be advised by any mother, typical Vaishnava mother. He advised him, okay, you want, but you have got material desires, then nothing there much, but still if you want material desires, but you worship Lord Krishna. So he decided to worship. Lord Narad Muni came. He wanted to, Lord Narad Muni wanted to liberate Dhruva Maharaj and give him the highest position. And that was pre-planned. That was Lord's plan. So he wanted to bless him. So he blessed him. Narad Muni blessed Dhruva Maharaj, gave him some philosophy also, that what is a, I mean, he first tested Dhruva Maharaj, whether he's really serious about it or he just as a boyish or childish behavior, he just tried to ask something. So, and he went to forest did very deep tapasya, very deep. Initially, only he will eat, then they only drink water, then he will not drink for days and months, water also. Forget about eating. And he was eating only air, and then he stood on his leg, one leg, and like that. Severe, severe. Kshatriya were trained to do that, and he did that tapasya. And Lord ultimately appeared before him, saying that he was very satisfied. Lord was very satisfied by the determination of them. But that was not the only reason. Actually, Dhruva was a by heart devotee. So that was the real reason Lord actually came. And okay, there was the material desire. So Lord wanted to satisfy as usual. Lord will satisfy his devotee's desires also. But he will satisfy his devotee desires, so-called material desire also in such a way that devotees will not ask that benediction again, because devotees are almost there in terms of being desirelessness. Now, when I say desirelessness, it is basically no material desire. But devotee has desires. They are all transcendental desire. Only desire devotee has is to serve Lord in whatever form, whatever shape, whatever way, wherever it is, in whatever way. Devotee just want to serve the Lord. And that is the only desire devotee has got. Otherwise, there is no desire. So in reality, in nutshell, devotee doesn't have any material desire, not even tinge of desire, not even tinge. Devotee will not ask anything to Lord other than his service. So he will not ask practically anything to the Lord from material point of view. Nothing, whatever may be the case, even though devotee will not even ask the protection from this dangerous material world. He's so elevated, he's so desireless. He will not ask that. But of course, we should not imitate that. We cannot imitate that because we are not at that level. I'm talking about very pure devotee. But the real definition of desirelessness of devotee is mentioned or explained properly by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Samprasanto. He says, Anna Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anamrutam Anukulyana Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Means when the first class devotional service develops, spotless devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires. One must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monistic philosophy, speculative knowledge basically, and fruitive action. Fruitive action in karma, karmic action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. This is the definition of desirelessness for a pure Vaishnava, or it is a target for all our aspiring devotees. Now, so it means what? There is no desire. There is no desire of karma phala. I did this, I should get this. There is no desire of speculative knowledge because we want to understand everything on an intellectual, mental platform so that our so-called rational tendencies get satisfied. We don't want to believe on something which doesn't appear to be rational to us, our mind. It's irrational, but it doesn't appear. So we want to get into detail and then get a knowledge and then, okay, all this. That's also material desire. Although the purpose is here to understand transcendental subjects. Even the karmis, they do, karma yogis do karma just to for their own satisfaction also, as well as Lord's satisfaction also. But it's very less for Lord, they're more for their desire. Same for Gyanis. Yogis also, they do lot of tapasya, very severe tapasya, and that is to attain some siddhis, powerful material siddhis. We can't even imagine that sort of powerful material siddhis. These are all desires which are actually will be classified are actually classified in this shloka which I told, Anya Bilashita Shunyam shloka, as a material desires. Although it is involved by some, although it is practiced by some of the transcendental or devotees also, and it is in context to devotional service to some extent, or it is context to Lord, but still there is a material desire. And there's nothing wrong. Even though we have got material desire, we should continue. Bhakti is the key message we have to understand. We should never leave devotional service, even though we have got material desire. Why? Because we are already in the mess of material desires. Now, suddenly we cannot come out of that. So, we should first acknowledge that we have got material desires. We should secondly acknowledge that, yes, these are not advisable. These are not aspired by devotees, not to be aspired by devotee, but they are there. We should acknowledge that, yes, this is a problem, but due to habit or due to various other obligations, uncontrolled mind, that we have been using our mind, births or material desire. So it will not go out so easily. So program, it will keep running. We have to stop the program. You cannot stop suddenly. It will keep running. We have to slowly purify our mind. Purify means come out of material desires. This is what exactly. And then, so what will happen to material desires? You will not feel like having those desires. So what happens when our material desire doesn't get satisfied, we become sorrowful, we become sad. Now, if devotee rejects all the material desires, or the material desire keep reducing, little bit is there but reducing, does devotee become unhappy? No, actually become more happy. But we think like that, go, our material desire doesn't get satisfied, we may not be we may become unhappy. That fear is there of the, if you reject desire, what will happen to our enjoyment? Actually, that doesn't work that way. The moment you actually lamentation or having material desire is the cause of our unhappiness. We don't understand that, but by the mercy of Prabhupada's commentaries, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we can understand this easily. And we can see many devotees, Prabhupada himself and many of his disciples and many devotees around us are actually following this path, and how they are happy, how happy they are. We can actually understand. So material desires, so devotee cannot, nobody can have reject the desires. We cannot be desireless. But devotees stops all the desires, means he get detached from it. He doesn't feel like desiring it. He doesn't feel like desiring the desires also, or desires. I mean, we are talking about like this. He doesn't desire to have desires also. So we'll have desires, but we'll control the desire. That is one type of control. Good. But desires are still there, but we control the desires in implementing. But devotee doesn't even desire to desire those desires like that. We can say like that. Okay. Means such a pure stage. So what desire he has got? One has got devotee. One or she or he has got. The desire is only to serve Lord. So there's nothing like desirelessness in a true sense as far as devotees are concerned. We cannot be desireless. We cannot be happy with not being just desirelessness and just focusing on the zero. No, it doesn't work that way. And Prabhupada has always clearly mentioned in all of purport, there is no question of desirelessness. There has to be desire, but divert your desires, tendency to desire to Lord. Then automatically everything gets, you are in natural constitutional position. But as mentioned, karmis has got desires to get karma phala, enjoy material world, material fruits of the material life. Gyanis enjoy doing intellectual exercises. Yogis enjoys the siddhis. They have got desires. Of course, they have got desire to serve Lord also. That's why they are yogis. There is nothing like yoga without desire to service Lord. But that is little bit less, and other desires are more. Devotees, they also have good material desires. So they are also partial bhaktas. Most of us like partial, at least me. Okay, we have got desires, we have got devotions. We should continue that. Nothing feel too much guilty about it, although we should feel guilty about having desires and start acting on it. Desires will be there. So let's continue. And slowly, we should convert our desires in the service of Lord. So this is very important shloka. And the mention here is basically, the stress point here is basically have desirelessness and have desire only to serve. Now, when Lord appeared in front of Dhruva Maharaj, he realized such a beautiful Lord, such a beauty, everything is there. And Dhruva's desires, material desires, or tendency to material desire also got disappeared. But just by seeing the lotus feet of Lord. That is the potency of Lord's darshan. He forgot it because it's not otherwise easy to come out of material desire. It's practically not possible. Although we are saying we should be material desires, we should be desireless, we should not have material. That is only artificial. We alone cannot come out of material desires on our own efforts only. Our efforts are needed. Our desires has to be there to become free from material desire. That's the only thing we can have. But we cannot come out of our strong material desire just by our own effort. What is needed is a blessings, Rupa Drishti of Lord and his devotees. Just by devotees association, we slowly reject all those desires. You can see that very swiftly it happens. We don't have to try hard or push pull. No, it becomes so easy. And by Lord Darshan, worshipping Lord, reading Bhagavatam, attaching to Lord, reading about Lord, hearing about Lord, tasting Lord's prasadam, our desires automatically gets converted to Lord's service, doing Lord's service. So desire is only getting converted very swiftly, very easily. There is nothing like very hard try in devotional service. There is nothing like, oh, very hard push, like what yogi is doing. Hard karmis are working hard. There is nothing like so hardship life in the devotion. It's very swift, very simple. Simple formula, what Prabhupada has given. Keep chanting, keep taking prasad, keep reading Bhagavatam, keep associating with devotees, enjoy the Lord's service. Do the Lord's service. It's simple formula. So, like Dhruva Maharaj, when he saw the Lord, immediately his desires became nil. Otherwise, he was struggling to come out of this. He was knowing, Dhruva Maharaj, I have got desires. But I want that. I am a Kshatriya. Narad Muni said, why you want? Why you are a boy? Why you are? And why these are all material desires? Why you want to get into all this? He said, no, I want kingdom. I want. So he was having strong desire. He was not able to control, but he wanted reward, but he was respecting Narad Muni. He was respecting Bhagavatam. He was respecting everything. So that's a devotee. Even though devotee will have desire, doesn't mean he will disrespect those Lord or his devotee. He will never disrespect. That is offense. If you disrespect devotee, that's offense. See, it is offense, having offense is a very dangerous thing. We should not have any sort of tendency. We should be very careful in not doing any offense to devotees or Lord or scriptures. We may have desires, material desire. That is also offense in one sense, but that is, Lord will forgive us for that because that's due to our habit. So it is okay to have material desires for some time and we should come out of that, we should try our best. That is all fine. But we should not offend. So Dhruva Maharaj never offended Dhruva Maharaj never offended Narad Muni or his loyal advisors. He said, I understand. You are a great saint and you are advising me to come out of this, but I am not in position. I want to do the tapasya. I want to see the Lord. I want this material kingdom. So he was very open-hearted that yes, I have got material desires. So let's accept this for us also. Let's accept that we should not artificially say that we don't have material desires. We should not pretend to be. We should not be doing that. We should say, yes, we have got material. We should acknowledge that, yes. And we should study, oh, this is my material desire, actually creating problem for my devotional study. So slowly come down. We should try to come down. Actually, you yourself cannot try anything. We cannot come out of material desires by our own effort. We should have desire to come out. That's all. That's enough. Then surrender to Lord, surrender to devotees, surrender to Bhagavatam. Rest is taken care. And it takes his own course. It's okay. But let us do that. And that is the formula Prabhupada has given. He has given such a beautiful ISKCON temple, ISKCON organization, where we can just go and rest is taken care by the whole system, ecosystem, spiritual ecosystem. Yes, you will be, once you are in devotees association, your life is successful. There will be struggle, there will be up and down, there will be many, you yourself will struggle with your mind because it's not easy to control desires, material desires, especially lust desires, kama vasana is not easy to control. In fact, it is said, I was listening to some, we can, most of the desires we will be able to control as we practice the tapasya, for regular principle. The very difficult to control is the lust, kamas. So attraction between man and woman and then all paraphernalia. It's not easy to control. It can be controlled only by Lord's mercy. Just when you get attached to Lord's pastimes, when you get attached to devotees' pastimes, like Prabhupada, and when you get attached to Lord's pastimes, automatically that will go away. Till that time, it is not easy. So we should be focusing on attaching ourselves to Lord and his devotees. We should not too much on artificially trying to control the desires, artificially and mental speculating it. No, we should not do that. Just follow of course, we have to have effort to follow regulative principle. If we say, oh, nothing, no effort, we should have effort. We should be doing effort on controlling the senses, obviously. For regulative principle, Prabhupada has given. But that is not all in all. We should focus more on attaching to Lord, getting attached to Lord, his devotees, his pastimes, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, dancing in temple, having prasadam in temple, going to satsanga, going to tirthakshatras, going to whatever way possible, whatever way, or doing chanting in home, reading in home, whatever way. Slowly it will, once one pastimes of the Lord comes in your heart, the desires automatically, we don't feel like having the desire because you will reject the lower taste if you have got higher taste. So we are trying to get a higher taste. Prabhupada's formula, simple formula. Prabhupada has mentioned this formula. Here we are trying to get a higher taste so that lower taste, which are material desires will go away. No, not reverse. Like we cannot control material desires forcefully and not having spiritual connection. That will not be able to do. You will be sucked into materialism. Maya is very powerful. So very simple. So when Dhruva Maharaj saw Lord, he just forgot and he was lamenting later on. He was repenting, lamenting. Oh, how I could have material desire, such a petty material desire. While Lord is available and everything is there with Lord. And if you see the Lord, your all desires are satisfied. You are satisfied. You yourself get satisfied. Forget about your satisfying your desires, indriyas or senses. No, he himself gets satisfied. So he was lamenting for some time, but then then he understood. Then Lord also said, okay, I understand your point. And Lord was very happy because he was so pure to the heart. Even though he has got desires, he was admitting it. That's the humility. See the humility. And humility is the main ornament of devotee. So we should not be imitating to the very high class Vaishnavas and try to become desirelessness. And no, we should acknowledge we have got problems, we have got issues, we have got desire, and we should start putting maximum effort to control those desires and mold our life slowly and chant and continue, and Lord will be satisfied at some point of time, and slowly we'll go to that state of purity, and by mercy of Lord and Guru, and hope so. We should keep hoping, and it happens. The formula works. There's no exception to the formula. We should have that faith. So Dhruva Maharaj, then Lord said, okay, then Lord gave him the Dhruva planetary system, which is above the material world and just near to the below the Vaikuntha planet, and which will be never destroyed by material dissolution, because every night of Brahma material dissolution gets dissolved temporarily, and every life of Brahma after 100 years of Brahma also material world, or that material world permanently get dissolved, and again that it gets merged into the five elements. New material planets are getting material worlds are universes are getting created. That's there anyway continuously. So that is the way it works. But in all these pralaya, they call it dissolution or pralaya, Dhruva planets doesn't get dissolved. It is permanently there as a pole star. That's what Bhagavatam says, and it is it is given to Dhruva permanently. That was the achievement of Dhruva. Was this achievement only due to austerity of Dhruva? No. There are many severe austerities many people have done higher than Dhruva. But Dhruva got this position. Other yogis are there, they get some big benedictions, very powerful. But it is never equal to Dhruva, because Dhruva is actually devotee. So the benedictions what Lord gives to devotee is much more higher and transcendental and powerful than so-called siddhis and so-called gyanis, yogis, karmis. So if you are looking for something big to happen in your life, in all material way or spiritual way, let's start worshipping Lord. Let's start taking devotional service. Lord will reciprocate to your desires. If you have got material desire, He will reciprocate and give you. But if you demonstrate that, yeah, it's my material desire, it's not good, Lord will also give material desire, but in such a way you will not ask it again. So Lord is so merciful, and ultimately He will take it to the pure devotional service. And we should have desire of pure devotional service. We should have desire of pure devotional service. At least desire. Rest, Lord will guide us through His devotees, through His Shastras, Bhagavatam. If you read Bhagavatam, I'm sure all of you are reading Bhagavatam in one way or other form. And if you really read Bhagavatam, actually we get that glimpse of it. If you read the Bhagavatam very peacefully and very in a very joyous mood, actually you don't feel like to have material desire at that moment. At least you feel, oh, what is this material desire? Such a big ocean of happiness bliss lies in the Bhagavatam, and actually we can taste it little bit. Of course, we are not able to taste its full potential because we are not purified ourselves due to material desires. But we should start that process. We should start rejoicing the nectar of Bhagavatam, because it is the nectar of Bhagavatam, because it is so sweet, because it is touched by the Shukadeva Goswami's mouth, like a parrot which bites the fruit that tastes very sweet. I'm sure all of you have seen that. At least I have seen that in the childhood days when we used to go to field, and there's mango and there is a guava, and they'll be picked by the peak of the parrot, and it will definitely taste sweet. Absolutely, I have seen that, and you also will be, and that is how Vedic knowledge is actually, and Bhagavatam is actually spoken by the Shukadeva Goswami. It is compiled by Vyasadeva, but it is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami, and that's why it becomes so sweet. And due to this sweetness of the Bhagavatam, we can actually slowly come out of this material. There's no other way. Okay, in Satya Yoga, austerities were recommended, yajnas were recommended. Of course, they also get taste of all this, but ultimately it takes time, and especially in Kali Yuga. In fact, in all yogas, but especially in Kali Yuga, just chanting the name of Lord, you can taste this nectar. But by reading the Bhagavatam, especially Bhagavatam, you can slowly come out of this slowly or immediately, I don't know. If we are small desire, it will take long time. If you have a strong desire, it will take short time to come out of this. So it's everything is there. But it has got a Bhagavatam has got a potential to purify us within seconds. Provided we have got that full desire. Prabhupada says that. Somebody asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, how much time it will take if you keep chanting? How much time it will take to become liberated or to come out of this material world? He said, are you not reading my books? Immediately. It takes only moments to come, provided you have got a desire, strong desire to do the devotional service. So, what we should be focusing on this, develop a strong desire. We have got desires. Like that, put an effort in developing the desires. Some natural desires, material desires are very natural to us in this conditioned state of life. So it doesn't need effort to go and taste nice food in restaurant or go and listen some filmy music. It doesn't take much effort. It naturally comes because it's not natural to the soul, but it's natural to our body and our, because we are in material world, that's natural, so-called natural. Actually, it's artificial. Our natural desire is to serve the Lord and read about them and song about Lord, sing about Lord. So that is what we should develop. There we need effort. So put effort, but it will develop. And then once you develop even the small desire, as you keep testing it, you will develop more and more, it become natural to us. And then artificial desire, material desire become unnatural to us. And it takes a lot of effort to come out of that. That's a progressive path. And slowly you will reject all those material desire. That's what we are looking for, to become a devotee while becoming devotee. So this is what it happened. And then Prabhupada writes ki Suniti was a mother of Dhruva Maharaj. Suruchi was a stepmother who dethroned Dhruva Maharaj. So Suniti was so big-hearted because she was Vaishnava. Dhruva Maharaj also was so big-hearted where he was also Vaishnava. And there was a procession. Went back to kingdom, and all the praja, all the civilians were very happy to receive Dhruva Maharaj, looking at his austerity blessed by Lord. And they were seeing, and even his father also, he was not bad. He was a good person, but he was helpless in front of his wife, and but he was also very happy. And he distributed a lot of ornaments and other eatables to the Praja civilians, and there was a celebration. But Suniti was so great, so big-hearted. She advised, invited Suniti, her so-called step wife, and her son also, along with her procession, on the same palanquin. They did not give them the step motherly treatment, ill treatment, although reverse has happened. That is the greatness of Vaishnava. Without being a heart of Vaishnava, we cannot be actually magnanimous. We cannot be. It's only Vaishnava who can be so larger. He may get insulted, he may get, but then he will forgive. That's how it is. And because he's happy, he's least bothered about this material world and its reactions, action. He say, oh, everything is action. I have done something bad. Something would have come to bad to me as a reaction. Where is the question of blaming somebody? So that is, because he really understands Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and practices. It's become easy. And of course, Vaishnava way is so easy to implement. So he will do it diligently. So we should actually read those. Why Bhagavatam is there? Because it's not all about only Lord. Bhagavatam is all about Lord as well as his devotees. Devotees are more magnanimous than Lord, actually. Bhagavatam says. They are more glorified. And Lord become more happy if his devotees get glorified, like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj. There are many devotees. And that's what is happening. And when you listen to Bhagavatam like this and start glorifying devotees, we also start getting those qualities slowly. Of course, our efforts, our Desire should know, I should get these qualities. Not that comparison, but we get those qualities naturally because we are going to a natural constitutional position. What is devotional service? Devotional service is not having something, putting something new into your heart. New, it is already there. Our soul is pure. Our soul is blissful. Satchidanand. We are anyway eternal. We are just trying to polish, remove the dirt of material design, and then it will shine. Like the mirror shines once you remove the dust. So that is what Bhagavatam is doing, and we are just so cleaning ourselves. We are already transcendent. We are there. We are Satchidana. We are just we are Brahma Bhuta. We are Brahma. Brahman. Lord is Parabrahma. Next, we are becoming Brahman. We are becoming eternal just by clearing our heart, and that's what is happening. And but so how we to do it? By reading devotees, by observing the devotees, by associating with devotees, by reading, hearing more about glorious pastimes of devotees like Dhruva Maharaj. We get clean. So easy to clean our heart. Read Bhagavatam. And this is a Mahati of Bhagavatam. This is the greatness of Bhagavatam that just by reading Bhagavatam, you will be purified. And we have seen that. All of us have seen that. We are testing it little bit. Why not to test more? So keep reading Bhagavatam. Keep reading Bhagavatam. Just immerse yourself into Bhagavatam pages. You see the what happens to us. It's magic happens to us. Many I have read many Maharajas, ISKCON Maharaj and Prabhupada has said, of course, everywhere that you read Bhagavatam, you will forget all these miseries of life. You want to forget miseries of life. You want to forget lamentation, hankering, anxieties. You want to do that? Start reading Bhagavatam. Simple. And you see that. And every page it's like this. So we should actually get attached to Bhagavatam. And it's beautifully because it's very sweet. It's not just dry philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is a philosophical principle. Of course, I'm not saying Bhagavad Gita is right. That is also very sweet. And because we are, but it's at a principle level. Only principles are discussed there. But Bhagavatam is a one step above. That's the next step. Once you read Bhagavad Gita, so we should start reading Bhagavad Gita immediately. Before that, we should start reading Prabhupada books. Of course, we are devotees. We are doing that. Go to Bhagavad Gita quickly. Complete that. Understand. Keep reading that. And go to Bhagavatam also and keep reading that. That's what we are now discussing. So keep joining the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Don't skip the class. Wherever it's possible. And keep reading Bhagavatam. Purchase copy of Bhagavatam. Keep reading daily 5-6 pages. And you see the miracle. So effortless. And our material life, material pangs of material desires, pangs of material sufferings reduces. Bhagavatam relieves you. It's not just false promise. It actually happens if you read Bhagavatam, association of devotees. Our material anxieties, material suffering comes down. It's a benediction by Lord. That's a real benediction of Lord. And our attachment to the Lord increases and we feel blissful. There may be some material desire, there may be some material miseries inflicted on us because still we have got karma, pralas to be cleared. Be it, but we take it in a very matured way as a devotee and we are on the path of devotional service by the mercy of Prabhupada. So this is the Srimad Bhagavatam, beautiful story of Dhruva Maharaj tells, very live example. And it is applicable to all of us. We have material desires. Start serving the Lord. Let there be material desires. Start serving the Lord. And at the end, your material desires also may be fulfilled in such a way that you actually don't ask for those material desires. You get those material desires. You will get, Lord will give you but ultimately you will be, what is this? And then you will get anyway whatever you deserve, Lord want. But ultimately you will get spiritual, devotional service. That is the important thing. And that's what we want. So I stop here. Things to be discussed, we discuss. And any questions, comments from the devotees, welcome, please, and then we can close the session. Hare Krishna. So, if there are no questions or comments, so my suggestion is please keep reading Bhagavatam, keep attending this. Bring your friends also online. It's easy to join from online, and let's keep testing the nectar of Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So I'll close the session now if there are no question comments, and then we'll close the session. So Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thanks, devotees. All please keep joining the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. So